Here on the Longhorn Network and heard all across the state of Texas on the Longhorn IMG Radio Network, this is Longhorn Weekly, talking some Texas women's tennis during this portion of the program. Head coach Patty Fendick-McCain with us, and sophomore Breaunna Addison is with us as well, who's coming off another fabulous season, is she not?
Well, she's still in the thick of it. She's not quite through it yet.
Well, let me get your thoughts, Bree, about this particular year. You became last year third Longhorn to be able to reach the single semifinals at the NCAA. Coming off of that and going into the season, what were the goals? What was the direction for you this year?
Just trying to take one match at a time. You know, when you're worried about like trying to repeat the same results, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and just really raising the expectations maybe a little too high sometimes. So I just try to just take one match at a time and then think about it as trying to support my team and do like the best I can for my team, because at the end of the day, it's not just about me.
Patty, when you have such a highly decorated player coming off a freshman campaign like she did, what are your expectations for someone like Bree coming into the sophomore campaign, and what it's been like to watch her through this season?
Well, I think it's just more about the standards that you set for yourself, and Bree's got very high standards for herself, and it's my job to help her meet her own standards. And like she said, you know, being a tennis player as well, every day is a new day, and you know, it's all about putting in the work and doing the little things, and then big things can happen. But you know, we really don't look ahead, we don't look behind. You know, as a tennis player, you have to prove yourself every day. So for her, it's just kind of keeping things simple, and it's about working on the basics and staying focused on those things and not getting ahead of ourselves.
Bree, I'm going to throw a date at you here and see if this number means anything to you. April 19, 2013. Does that mean anything to you?
Well, can you give me a hint?
That's
the Magna Carta.
That's the last time you lost a match to a conference opponent. It's been over a year. You haven't lost a set since March 16th, and you're 21-1 overall against Big 12 opponents.
Good news.
Does that kind of stuff ever go through your mind that you're on that kind of a roll?
No, I think when you start thinking about your overall success, then you get ahead of yourself and you get a little too confident, and that's when you're most vulnerable. So again, I approach each dual match, each match is like I'm performing for my team, for myself. So winning is just like a byproduct, and I mean, it's great.
Yeah, so it's 10 straight matches, 14 of your last 15. So you're not keeping track of that sort of thing when you walk off the court. Well, there's another one out of the way.
No, I think if you're thinking like that, you're just going to get ahead of yourself.
Having been through it now in the NCAA singles, now that the NCAA is starting up again for you, is it, I don't know if the comfort level is the right phrase, but just having been through it once, does it make it a little easier for you, knowing what to mentally and emotionally prepare for as you get into it this time around?
Because I've experienced it, I think I can be a little bit more emotionally stable. I think like each match I won, I was like, oh my gosh, I won a match. So I kind of know what to expect, and I know what I'm getting myself into. But I think if you get too comfortable, again, you're vulnerable. So I just want to approach each match as like one match at a time and try and do my best.
I know that you, as a team player, you want your team to win the whole thing. You want them to beat Houston down in the first round of the NCAA tournament. You want them to go on and win a national championship. You also have the opportunity to win an individual national championship. What would that mean to you to have that opportunity?
I mean, I love my team, so I would much prefer to win with my team than have individual success. But I mean, if I can do both, then that's great.